Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Roughie's football show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin, Alan Rough, Darren Jackson, and Tam McManus here with me on this fine Friday. Great to have your company. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook. You can share the stream with your pals. Hit the red button on our YouTube channel as well. It's a subscribe button. You can join the football family. And of course, Monday to Friday, we're on at 4 o'clock. And if you miss it, you can actually catch it at your leisure, not only on the phone, on the app, but you can watch it on YouTube and Facebook as well. So, great to have you on board. The first thing that has to be said is, congratulations, the champions. Alan Rough, how do you feel?
Fantastic. I say there's no gin and tonic today. It's just straight champagne. During the show. I've got my wee bottle of Bollinger just to sort of top it up as we go along. So, it's fantastic. I mean, I never thought for a minute 5-0. I mean, usually the Thistle way is leaving at the last minute and trying to get what you're needed and possibly going up to Montrose on Tuesday and then trying to get a point there. But no, the boys were absolutely fantastic. I have to give them a credit for their energy levels at this stage of the season. They were so far ahead of Falkirk, just pressing and chasing and harrying and everything, and the goals just eventually came. You know, I can't understand what's going on at Falkirk just now, because they were nothing like the Falkirk we played during the season. And I have to say my money's now on Cove Rangers. I was saying to Darren, I think Cove Rangers are a very, very good footballing side. I think Paul Hartley's got them playing well. And I think the second team in that championship are in for a wee bit of bother if they get into that second place.
Yeah, always difficult without the fans there. I notice a lot of Jags fans that I know celebrating on the social media, although some did manage to get alongside the riverbank, Roughie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there was 200 or 300 up there, right for the start of the game.
50 ultras.
Obviously they only could see one. They only could see one side of the one goal. No, yeah. So they just cheered whenever they thought there was a goal. So they were fantastic. It's not very often Partick Thistle scored 5 goals, but it was great for everybody, great for the players, great for the manager and the staff, because like everybody else, it's been a really, really tough season. And I have to, I don't like getting too many pats in the back, and Jerry Britton. If it hadn't been for Jerry Britton and Jackie Lowe on that response committee to really put the pressure on Neil Doncaster to fulfil this season, the season would have been binned. They would just have binned it and forgot all about us, but they all stuck together, the two divisions, and said, no, we want to play this season out. And well done to everybody on that committee who made the SPFL turn around and say, right, you can have X amount of games.
Yeah, and I know you obviously in Thistle will have such a high regard for him that he's decided to release a statement to congratulate you. So let's read it out, Roughie. Thursday night's fixtures brought the curtain down on an extremely exciting League One title race. I'd like to warmly congratulate the Partick Thistle players, management and directors on their fine achievement. League One has been one of the most fascinating and unpredictable divisions in the SPFL this term, and it's no surprise that the title race has come down to the last few games of the season in such a tight competitive division. Partick Thistle have proved worthy champions and fully deserve their place at the top of the table. So there you are, Roughie. That must fill you with great joy.
Good old deal.
Yes, I think when we all got that, we all sort of took it with one pinch of big salt because we shouldn't have been there in the first place. Thanks, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew you were going to mention it, Roughie. I just thought I'd give you the chance to absolutely belt him one right in the jaw. Anyway, apart from anything else, listen, a wee bit of banter with it. I'm sure Neil's big enough and man enough to take it all. But Thistle, well done to the team and the fans and the players as well. Absolutely brilliant. Great club. Great to have them back in what will be a fantastic championship. Today is a day from 3 o'clock onwards that quite a number of clubs across England and Scotland have decided on a social media blackout. They will not be participating all the way through to Monday and then starting again on the Tuesday. This is basically to try and send a message to the social media companies to take action against people who think it's okay to abuse individuals because race, creed, colour, you name it, if they can try and hurl abuse at someone, they do. It's trying to make them accountable for their actions. How the social media companies are going to do that, I do not know. A lot of people think that they'll be able to govern themselves and make changes that will not only appease everybody, but be a step in the right direction. I have my doubts. I know that a number of players have refused to go on social media now, and some have come off it completely. But I think it needs legislation from the government and laws in place, and also needs registration from anyone who wants to use these social platforms. And if you think that people are going to change their mind and change the way they are as individuals because of maybe some kind of tighter governance from Facebook, Twitter, you name it, YouTube, then you're mistaken. And the reason why I say that is you only have to look at what happened last night. We have a situation where, and it has implications for everyone, is the conduct of people and how they treat each other. David Cox is a boy who has highlighted his mental health problems over a period of time. He's decided to retire from football. He's alleged that Stenhousemuir's Jonathan Tiffany told him he should have succeeded in his previous suicide attempt. Now, here's what the David Cox claim is on this situation. The second half is just starting. I've left the stadium. I was on the bench. One of the boys on the Stenny team, we were having a to and fro, and he had a go at my mental health. He told me I should have done it right the first time. I promised myself the next time it happened, I'd walk off the park. I'm done with football completely. Some people might think it's not a big deal, but I'm fed up listening to it. I tried to speak to the referee about it. They didn't want to know because they didn't hear it. We talk about racism and the personal issues that get brought up in football, but if it's not heard by officials, there's nothing they can do about it. So I'm going to do something about it, and for me, it's leaving the game. I'm done with it. Once he was called out on it, he knew what he had said and he tried to deny it. So I'm done. Hanging the boots up for good. I'm off in the middle of the game. And basically from there, I'm not doing it, was the last words from David Cox. Now, a very sad situation. Now, the reply from Jonathan Tiffany on this, again, is a denial of what is claimed to have said. Reports have indicated I abused David Cox by attacking his mental health during last night's match between Stenhousemuir and Albion Rovers. This is simply untrue. Throughout the first half of the game, I was subjected to abuse and disparaging comments from the Albion Rovers dugout. I did not react to these. David Cox was booked by the referee for entering the pitch and abusing me. I did not abuse him. His abuse of me took place in front of the linesman. Had I made the comment, which has been said that I made, then it is inconceivable that it would not have been heard by the linesman. Having been personally subjected to disparaging and hurtful remarks as a player for many years, I condemn any such practice. I would never attack another player's mental health or well-being and will fully cooperate with the Scottish FA's investigation into this matter. And that is basically from a match involving professional footballers. Very difficult, Tam, to comment on a situation or pass judgment on it because of quite simply an investigation that's going on. But if the alleged comments are found to be true, then I think it's a sad situation that we find ourselves in because this is a problem for society.
Yeah, it's Peter. Listen, and Darren will tell you the same. Listen, there's a lot of trash talk goes on in the pitch. People like to, I wouldn't say put people off their game, but in the heat of the game and emotions run high, you say things you maybe regret, but that is beyond the pale if that is what he said. Listen, it's his word against the other boy's word, and we can't really comment on that, as you said, until the investigation is complete. But if he did say that, I think he should be released by Stenhousemuir. I think he should be out the game. I really think it'd be a terrible thing to say to someone on the pitch. And as I say, you can get away with saying different things, but that is, I think, it's beyond the line. And we just have to wait and see what happens in the investigation. But if that's true, Peter, then it's a disgraceful thing that he said. But we'll have to wait and see
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of those very tender situations, and I think some people have maybe jumped the gun in their condemnation at the moment until you know the facts. There has, and there have been over the course of this season, a number of situations where people have jumped the gun, and then all of a sudden the outcome is completely different. But nevertheless, it's worrying times. It's certainly not something we want to see, and I know that David Cox has had a lot of problems that he's needed a lot of support. And listen, we wish him well. At 32, to leave the game is a sad situation. Rangers have released a statement on the media blackout. This is what they had to say on their decision. Rangers social media channels will close down in line with the other British clubs across the weekend. We are proud of our players and staff who took a stand several weeks ago and boycotted social media. Furthermore, our positive and constructive dialogue will continue with social media channels so that we can protect our players and assist in eradicating online hate. As a club, we are proud of the success of our groundbreaking Everyone Anyone campaign, which sends a clear message of inclusion, togetherness, and a zero tolerance to all forms of discrimination on and off the pitch. And they go on to say, we are proud to be a modern and diverse football club, and we strive to create an environment where our differences are celebrated. So that was Rangers' stance on it. This is what James Tavernier had to say on it.
What's happened obviously in the past with myself and obviously my players, it's unacceptable on the social networking platforms, but it's something that we've had to live with and deal with, as ourselves and as a club. But now that it's getting broadcasted louder and wider to obviously these major platforms, that something has to change. So it's obviously good that we're starting this.
Yeah, I understand it. It has great merit, but if anything, it'll raise awareness, Darren. But I wonder about. I don't think it'll make a difference until there's a harder stance on it. What about you?
100%, Peter. Something has to be done, and we said a few months ago about the social media companies being accountable, and they have to do something now. You know me on social media. I'm not the best, but they need to do something. And you just look at last week, Peter, how quick it turned. This Super League, how quick it turned round because people all got together and fought against that, and UEFA and FIFA fought it, and they succeeded. Now, surely that fight should be taken in something like this, and there should be a focus on that, and maybe UEFA, FIFA, the Premier League, the SFA, speaking to the social media companies and actually getting together and saying, right, what can we do to try and eradicate this? Because, as I say, they were quick enough last week, UEFA and FIFA, to jump on the back of the Super League. Surely they can jump on the back of this and try and make a huge difference.
Yeah, and Jack Ross, the Hibs boss, has obviously waded into this and backs it, but has some concerns, like many of us.
But I think going to the social media boycott this weekend, I mean, I've probably got quite a strong opinion on that. That I understand the reasoning behind us doing it as clubs and as organisations. But for me, it raises awareness.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that blew us all out into left field. I thought we'd all suddenly had the media blackout starting early, Roughie. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, as usual, McManus just disappeared. He just went away for a sandwich. I think they weren't going to come back.
Thankfully, it's not my fault that time.
Yeah, absolutely. That fairly kind of caught everybody in the hop. I thought we'd started early. Anyway, Jack Ross waiting in there. You can give us your own thoughts on that. Rangers against Celtic this